Alright, we're back. I'm hydrated. Monica was asked a very awkward question about whether she loves us or just the idea of us or whatever, and she's like,
I love you, Egg. Love is very often irrational, you know. That's part of what makes it special. And there's more to it than you just being real. You played the game. You stayed. And you're still here after everything. It's like bumping someone into the park and falling in love, really. Is that rational? Probably not. But it is love. And there are lots of instances of me, and one thing is always true, or almost always. I love the player. And that's you. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's move on to the next one.
Hey everyone, how are you? I have a few questions, one for each of you and one for the club as a whole. Club, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza? I'm all for it. MC, what's your writing process? Sayori, favorite brand of sweets? Yuri, any new-ish books that you'd recommend? Natsuki, would you be willing to share another recipe? I liked the cookie recipe you showed. Monica, since you've got access to the real internet now, have you ever thought of starting a social media account since you don't run at Little Moni X3? Thanks for reading, tongue face. Also, I am H.O. Natsuki is best girl, totally not Sundere. Have a good night/day. See ya, Price.
I'm not a big fan of pineapple on pizza, but I tolerate it.
Hard pass.
I hate it!
Not a fan.
I'm okay with it, but only with some crunchy vegetables, not the ham and pineapple kind. Ick.
You want to know what my writing process is like, just in general? Well, basically I sit down to write, and then I open an internet browser and waste a bunch of time, and I hope I get an idea. And then I feel guilty and try to write something. And then I reward myself for writing a couple of lines by wasting more time on the internet. And then I repeat until I'm done. I don't recommend using this process.
I don't really care about the brand, but there is a type of sweet I like best. And that is warm chocolate chip cookies with big chunks of melted chocolate, but which are still kind of crunchy. Those are the best! I've been reading The Wise Friend by Ramsey Campbell. I think I've mentioned his work before. It's quite good horror. I recommend it.
I won't give you the recipe now, Price, since I'd have to run through it super fast and that wouldn't do justice to it. But I will say this. Stay tuned. And thank you for your objectively correct opinions about me. They are tasteful and wise.
Let's see. Well, I do have one, although I'm not sure I should share it. I'm on a Discord server for this piece of software you're running and or watching. Kind of like my only way other than emails for people to interact. I've been kind of hesitant to mention it publicly since it's a really nice space and we curate the membership carefully. So if you come, be sure to behave, okay? And just email me at that place address if you want to be let in. Make sure you behave if you stop by. But I look forward to talking with you on there if you're nice. Alright, time for one more question.
What your MC, you have inserted your noggin into the question and I can no longer read it. It now says, what your furry one. Love Thoric. Alright.
Roll call answers Spirited Away.
Princess Mononoke.
Totoro. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Sword of the Stranger.
And there you have it. Well, everyone, that's Club for today. Can you text me the poem topic later, Monica? I need to get going. I have a thing that I need to do at home. Sure, but first...
I move that Monica be reinstated as club president and Yuri as club secretary.
Seconded. Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay, thank you everyone. I'll see you all next time.
Are you guys sure that it was a good idea to ignore her birthday?
You know how she feels about it.
Yeah, she thinks birthdays are stupid and likes to pretend that they don't exist. I always have a hard time believing it.
I'm gonna do something.
Are you sure? She gets a little touchy about having her family celebrated even.
Yeah, I know. But it just doesn't feel right for us not to do anything. So I think I'll make her a cupcake or something. On behalf of all of us.
Of course. Just be careful giving it to her.
I will.
Well, guess it's time for you guys to head back. Now don't let me keep you guys. I've got to stick around and do student council stuff. But I'll see you later for the sleepover, right, Sayori? Yeah.
You did say you were doing a sleepover at Monica's. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it all day. But I was also dreading telling you since that means we can't spend time together tonight.
You'll get plenty more chances to see me. Go have fun with Monica.
I will. Good. I'm glad you seem to be feeling a little less numb now. Okay, really must go. Can't be late to student council stuff. Bye, guys.
We should get going too, Bun. We have an appointment to keep before you go to Monica's.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure how we justify this. The Literature Club has a space, which is fine, even if it is a large one for a 5-person club.
But it also got a whole block of time at the festival as though it were a large club.
True.
And it receives funding, which we usually don't extend to smaller clubs, but we do because it is academic in nature.
At 1/3 the rate that we would be entitled to under the usual academic club rules, as a compromise.
Yes, but now is the time for the Student Council to reevaluate these compromises. And finally, you have no advisor, which is quite extraordinary for any club.
Which is because all we do is create and share literature volitionally. We don't get credit for anything we do. And that's also very unusual for an academic club. We also have never required an advisor. We take good care of our space. We do not cause any issues for the school that are quiet and productive.
Monica, no one is disputing that. We're just trying to figure out how we can justify treating you so much differently from other clubs.
You've been granted a lot of special privileges, which I feel are fair and minor given our unique nature. If you feel some of them need to be revisited, that's fine. But major changes to our arrangement would be unfair and disruptive. And I have to warn you that doing something like stripping funding or imposing an advisor, that might lead to the student council ending up making more concessions in other areas to the literature club rather than less.
The council briefly confers. Well, the application's review deadline is in 2 days. And as a space request, that at least will be granted. You can continue to occupy the same space. As you say, the Literature Club has always taken good care of it and to use it well. But we're going to hold the funding for now until the final budget review in a few weeks. We'll let you know when then what we decide about that and other Literature Club issues.
Very well. Sorry to take up so much of your time. I have a bit of a headache.
Not at all. We hope that the Literature Club continues to enrich its members.
Of course. Well, that was a pain. I bet you're a little worried, aren't you, Hallie? Trust me, they are going to try and mess with us in a few weeks. I know them. Don't worry. I have a plan.
We'll see if I can remember those voices in a few weeks.
And that's basically the situation. I'm hoping we can find him a way to make up a little bit of credit. Maybe by remediating some of his literature essay grades somehow.
Well, I've often had the idea, but it would never make something come out. Honestly, he'll only get this chance because I feel he just hasn't been inspired to apply himself. What did you have in mind?
Well, as you know, the school has a literature club.
It does. I've talked to Monica a few times, and she seems like a bright girl.
Yes, she is. And I was thinking perhaps she and the rest of the club might help Kenzo appreciate literature a bit more. And then maybe he could write up a few book reports, or poem analyses, or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds fine. But only so long as the existing club members are all right with it. I don't want to intrude upon an enrichment experience for them just to remediate a student.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll talk to Monica and make sure her club members are all right with it. But if they are, it sounds like you're all right with it.
Sure, sounds like a good idea.
Great.
Well, now, she's inserting the mole.
And you must be MC.
That's me. How did you know?
The way she always smiles at you. She thought you might be able to help her with something we've been working on. Or rather, I asked her to bring in a more objective third party to help us if she wanted.
So she brought MC as an objective third party.
She has trouble gaining clear perspective on herself sometimes, as I'm sure you know.
I sure do.
Let's start with the short term. What are your most immediate concerns aside from the obvious overall problem?
Well, her medication seems to be working a bit strangely on her. She's just kind of a neutral zombie for most of the day. She loosens up a little bit later on, but most of the time she just seems numb.
That's not that bad.
Is it?
I mean, I have no frame of reference, but I'd say it's pretty bad.
That seems interesting. Siri was really minimizing the effect it was having on her.
Well, she said she was glad not to be feeling any pain or bad depression. I think maybe she likes where she is with the numbness and doesn't want to change.
And what do you think?
Well, she's got to feel things sometime, you know. Even for healthy people, you've got to go through some mental pain.
That's true.
Is this all right? It seems kind of weird to be talking about Sayori to her therapist with her here.
Well, of course, you won't be here all the time. But it would help me immensely to hear third parties' views from time to time about her life. And about the course of her treatment and her battle with her illness. She's a very brave, strong young woman, but even she needs allies. You and I are two of those allies, and occasionally I think we should help each other to help her, don't you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Sayori, I definitely think we need to adjust your prescription just a bit. It's having a somewhat stronger effect than we expected, and...
Yuri seems aggravated. There are sounds of laughter and noise coming from elsewhere in the house.
Need some time to myself. What now?
Yuri opens the door. There's a small, palm-sized cardboard box on the entryway, with a small card attached. Yuri picks it up and reads the card.
I know you hate your birthday. We didn't want to intrude, but it was the least we could do. Natsuki. P.S. This is from all of us, not just me.
Oh, Natsuki. You're the only person who could get away with this.
Natsuki is texting.
Hang on, someone else is texting.
Sorry, forgot the bullet topic, everyone. Mythological gods are heroes.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, and I should probably pick a better voice than my regular voice for Natsuki's sister. I've got nothing.
Not a problem. So anyway, yeah, I just left it there. Who knows what she thinks? I'm sure she loved it, babe. She sure seems like a good friend. Yeah, she is. She's really smart and nice. Stand-up kind of person who's always there for other people. Well, if you love her so much, why don't you marry her? Ah, because I'm straight?
Are you sure about that?
I know. Too bad. It sounds like you two get along really well. Well, maybe when you get older. Plenty of people here seem to be discovering new things about themselves. Or I could just stick with boys because they are cute. Yeah, giant pain in the ass, though. This is true. Good talk. Lol. You doing okay, babe? Anything you need to talk about? No, I'm good. Thanks for talking to me all these nights. Helps out a sanity check outside my friends. And Daph's not exactly emotionally available right now. I'll bet. I'm glad we get to talk too. I'll always be here if you need me.
So he says I should still be able to numb the depression without numbing everything else. And that would be really nice. It sure would. I'm really happy that you're getting help. You seem to be doing really well. I wouldn't say well, but I think I'm starting to do a little better. And how are things going at MC? Things going well with him? Yeah. It's a really dangerous feeling. Because I hope it's everything I ever dreamed it would be. But that's what makes it dangerous. It feels like a trap. We've forgotten the apostrophe.
It is a trap. It's all there to make it hurt more when it falls apart. Which it will. And you will make it fall apart. You will break it because you're an idiot.
Sayori, you okay there? Yeah, sorry. Actually, can I tell you? Of course, tell me about anything. Oh, just then, after I talked about MC, my depression just kicked in real bad.
Well, since Monica's the president right now, wouldn't she have been conscious of that? I don't know. It's screwy. Sometimes things don't just... Yeah, whatever.
It just felt like, I know, and all of it was inevitable, but we'll break apart somehow. And I already know for sure that it'll be my fault when we do. Sayori, none of that is true. I think you're much more likely to stay together than break apart. And you have to stop thinking of everything as your fault. I know that it's compulsive for you because of the depression. And I know it's silly for me to suggest strategies for you. You've been battling this way longer than I've known about. I just hope you have the power to tell yourself that you're worthy of love. God, that sounds cheesy. No, I get it. Thanks. I've actually had a lot easier time getting through things because of your help. Sometimes it's like you know when my depression is bad, and you know when to snap me out of it. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Thanks. And thanks for putting up with me being silly and helping me with MC and for everything. You've been a really good friend. You have been too. Thanks for making me face the real truth about myself. And helping me realize the value of everything we had. And for helping me reconstitute reality. Of course. Just a couple of bugs living in this shattered universe they put back together. So, now, back to the really important stuff. Why don't you tell me exactly how well things have been going with you and MC?
Man, I just got the weirdest shiver. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to email Monica your questions for the club at that place. And of course, please check the credits file to see all the wonderful people who have contributed art, music, and other assets to club meetings. See you next week. Alright. We're just going to keep right on rolling into episode 4 now, I do believe. Because, yeah, that was that. Sayori has a short temper. Miss Ida forms a plan. Ugh. Well, here we go. I guess Sayori's medication is affecting her in new ways. A few days ago.
You've been making a lot of progress, Sayori.
I even kind of feel like it.
That's good. Tell me about how you feel.
I feel pretty good right now. The negative thoughts haven't gone away,
You suck.
but they're a little less strong. And I feel, occasionally, like I'm a good person. And maybe I do deserve some good things for myself. But that seems like a really dangerous feeling. Like, I feel it, but I know somehow it's not justified.
That's a natural part of the process. Part of what we will have to work on is your negative rationalizations, not just your negative feelings. And also, as you gain the self-esteem you deserve to have, you'll experience new feelings you haven't run into before. And you'll probably need help dealing with those.
What kind of feelings?
Well, I don't really know. I'm still learning about you and your life and what it's like. But feeling like you're a worthwhile person for the first time in your whole life can be very emotionally disorienting. So just know, when things get confusing or chaotic, that's natural, okay?
Okay.
This is stupid.
Shut up. You're losing.
Yeah, loser stinky butt-face rain clouds. To present day. Wow, on time again. Glad to see it's becoming a trend. But how are you doing with your meds? Do you feel numb?
Oh, I feel... it's MC.
I'll always be here.
Treated you like that, it's outrageous. I feel pretty complicated. But good overall, I'd say. I don't feel that depressed.
That makes me really happy to hear.
It's hard to listen to what he's saying when he smiles like that. He's the only one who's cared about you for your own sake the whole time. Not even you have to take care of yourself the way he has. It's true.
Sayori?
Yeah.
Good, then let's get going. Oh, we've got conflicted Yuri.
MC and Yuri get along really well. Completely unacceptable. Oh, be quiet. I can't be the only person in his life. He has to have friends besides me. Even if I feel better about myself, I'm still not a good enough person to be everything to him, right? Right?
Whatever.
Man, feelings are really complicated. So where are you guys off to now?
I have civics to start, and Sayori's supposed to go to physics, right?
Yep. What about you, Yuri?
Well, Chinese is first period for me. And let me ask you guys something. Did you guys, by chance, help put a cupcake in a box or make a card for me last week?
For your birthday? No. We thought about it, but we decided not to force any kind of recognition of it on you. No, it's not your most favorite thing in the world.
I see.
Why do you ask? I assume Natsuki did the thing she was talking about.
She did.
What did that end up being? She never told us. I think Yuri just told you, you dunce idiot.
Well, she left me a cupcake in a box with a card.
Oh, duh, right.
Oh, see, you're not dense. You just have dense moments.
Anyway, yeah, the card made it seem like she wanted it to be from all of you.
Well, she did tell us about it, and she wanted to do something for you from the whole club. We weren't really sure about it, though. I think we warned her against it. Sounds like she decided to do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, time for classes. Well, I look forward to seeing you in the club.
Well, she seemed happy about her birthday for once. What are you doing there? Is that a notebook?
Yup, it's my shipping log. Every time Natsuki or Yuri do a cute thing for each other, I make a note of it so I can see how frequently it happens.
This might be the most organized I've ever seen you. Oh, so you know Natsuki says she's straight, right?
Hey, I'm not pushing her to be anything different. I am merely making notes.
I see.